The Commission on College Basketball, led by Condoleeza Rice, released a 60-page document discussing the current state of the sport and proposed changes to some of its most hot-button issues.
First, we must separate the college track from the professional track by ending one and done. We call on the NBA and the NBPA, who exclusively have power here, to once again make 18-year-olds eligible for the NBA draft so that high school players who are drafted may proceed directly to the NBA. The Commission found that
For more on the proposed changes, we have Bill Reiter, host of Reiter's Block on CBS Sports HQ, joining us to help break down what the changes could mean for the sport.
One and done rule is the rule that means that high school players who very well could go to the NBA, could be drafted, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, examples of players who came straight out of high school to the pros, aren't allowed to do that. It means they have to spend a year in college. Now, to be fair to college basketball and the NCAA, that's an NBA rule. That's an NBA Players Association rule. That is something that will have to be negotiated and worked out between the players at the NBA level, the Players Association, and the league office, and I think they'll do that. But it's important because it affects not just the kids who can go to the next level, but it forces that level of excellence, great players for a single year, into the college game. It also means to have a chance to be competitive. A lot of teams feel like they have to attract players who are only going to go to school for 1 year. I think this is the most disappointing part of Secretary Rice and the commission's decision, that the fact that they did not address pay for play, that they talk about harsher penalties. Frankly, this is my perspective, and I think the perspective of a lot of people around college basketball, this doesn't make any sense. Whether or not you've got the best player in basketball at the high school level going to the pros right away or spending a year in college, there's going to be some young man, there's going to be several young men who are highly coveted. There's going to be temptations to pay those players. There's going to be temptations to involve apparel companies. If you don't have an Olympic model, if you don't allow them to make some kind of money, if you don't acknowledge the fact that amateurism does not work, at least in my perspective, I know the perspectives of a lot of coaches who talk to me in private, and people like Bill Self and John Calipari that I've talked to publicly over on CBS Sports HQ, it's not going to work. I find this entire conclusion, I know a lot of people around college basketball as well, really baffling as to whether or not this is going to work and why they came to the conclusions that they did.
Thank you, Bill.